Hey, I'm Giancarlo.
And I'm Felicia, and this is our review of
Master
Builders.
Master Builders.
But we had a master before.
Yeah, he was a baker.
It was a master debater or a master baker.
Master Bakers.
Master bakers.
But this one's about Master Builders. I kind of preferred Master Bakers.
Shiny disco balls.
In Master Builders, players are trying to build buildings to make money. In the box, you'll find a board which keeps track of the 5 phases and player expenses, cardboard pieces used to build the buildings, paper money to pay your workers, a hammer for the first player, a shovel to keep track of which phases players are in, event cards which will cause more workers to leave your construction site, worker cards which have 4 different skill levels, contract cards which have the contracts of each of the buildings, economic situation cards which tell you how many building contracts are available, IOUs in case you need to take a loan, and finally player tokens to keep track of expenses each round. The game is played in 5 rounds of 5 phases each.
Here's how to set up the game. Place the board to the side with the shovel on the first phase. Give each player a color marker and $40,000. Shuffle each of the workers in their respective skill and form 4 face-up decks. Shuffle all the event cards and place them next to the playing board. Shuffle the contract cards to form a deck. Give the hammer token to the first player. Finally, shuffle all the economic cards and make a deck of only 5 of those cards. You're now ready to start building.
Let me go through the 5 phases of the first round. The first round is different from all the other rounds. In the first phase, players will take turns hiring workers from one of the 4 skill levels. The better the worker, the more expensive he will cost you at the end of the round. Once everyone has 5 workers, move to phase 2. Flip over contract cards equal to the number of players plus 1. So in a 3-player game, flip over 4 cards. Starting with the first player, he will choose one of those contracts and start a bidding war with the other players. The winner of that card takes it, along with the building pieces attached to the contract. Next, the first player will do the same thing with another building and so on. You can't have more than 2 contracts at a time. Once players have acquired contracts, you move to the 3rd phase. This is where you flip over an event card and read it out loud. These events affect your workers. Each worker has special letters on them which represent their quirks. This is the list which shows you what each letter means. Follow the instructions on that event card and move on to phase 4.
In the 4th phase, players will now build parts of their building with the workers they have. On each part of the building, you will assign workers matching the image on the part. The workers at higher levels can do the jobs of the workers at lower levels. You must build the walls before the roof. Now that every player has built some of the parts of their buildings, move to the last phase, which is to pay your workers. Calculate how much they want in total and pay them. If you don't have enough money, take an IOU from the bank. The track on the board is just for players to keep track of how much they will spend at the end of the round. During this last phase, if you completed a building, you will get paid big bucks. Place that building in the center of the table and collect the price written on the card. The cost on the card is the minimum bid a player must do to get that contract.
So now that you've done the first round, pass the hammer to the left and start a second round. From here on, the rounds are a little different. Here's how they're different. In the first phase, you can only do one of the following: hire a worker, fire a worker, or just pass. In the second phase, you flip over an economic card to see how many new contract cards are flipped before the bidding starts. The rest of the round is the same as the first round. The game ends when there are no more buildings to build or at the end of the 5th round. At the end of the game, you might make some money for incomplete buildings. The player with the most money wins the game.
It's a fun little building game with really nice production quality. If you don't like bidding games, stay away from this one. The only player interaction is during the bidding phase. It's actually a racing game. No much strategy and a lot of luck. The event cards and the way the workers are piled up makes the game pretty random. It's an alright game and we're giving it a 6 on 10. The rulebook also needs some work.